Good morning, everyone. Shavua Tov. So let's go into a Mishna in Pirkei Avot now, just for this morning. Let's learn the first Mishna Pirkei Avot, which we started last week again. To do it on video and to do it, think about it a little bit more. It's always good to do revision. In fact, one of the last lessons of the 5th chapter is to go over it and over it many times. So there's everything's in it. All the ideas of ethics, morals, philosophy, psychology can all be found in Pirkei Avot in some form or other. So it says the following: Moshe kibel Torah Mishna. Moshe received Torah from Mount Sinai, as we said, from God who gave it to him on Mount Sinai. Umasar Yoshua, and Moshe handed the Torah over to Joshua. Now the question is, should he hand the Torah over to all of the Jewish people? He taught everyone. He had 40 years to teach them. Why does it say that he only handed over to Joshua alone? And the answer is Joshua was a student who never left Moshe's side, the most diligent of all of them. And he was the one who never missed anything. He became the leader after Moshe Rabbeinu. And the Torah is very vast and deep. And there's so many subtleties to get that, yes, he might have taught everyone, but Yeshua didn't miss anything. Yeshua Lizakanim. And Joshua gave it over to the elders. There were elders who were living at the time in the desert after Yeshua, and they led the nation afterwards, and they all received the Torah from Yeshua as he had it as well. This is the oral tradition of the explanation to the written law in particular. It was a Kainim Lenavim, and they gave it over to the prophets who came later on, the prophets of in the books of Tanakh, Eliyahu, Elisha, Isaiah, Jeremiah. King David was a prophet himself as well. And the prophets handed over to the men of the great assembly. It's a fascinating idea I'd like to share with you about why they called the men of the great assembly. It's an interesting description to give to them. So the commentaries bring the following: that they lived at the time of the destruction of the first temple. That destruction was terrible. It was the start of the decline of everything. And even the second temple was not on the same level as the first temple. So people used to say that, where is God? It's not a new question. They said then as well, where is God? Moshe said in the Torah, God is Hakel, Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora. God is great, strong, and awesome. People said afterwards, the great prophets said, we can't call God strong and awesome. He might be great. Where's his strength and awesomeness? We can't see it. Where is God? We're in exile. We can't see his strength and his awesomeness. Okay, he exists. They didn't say, where is God? God exists all the time. God exists all around. He's aware of everything. He knows what's happening. He has a plan for everything. But where's his strength and awesomeness? Where do we see that? His power. Surely he's powerful. Why are the Jewish people being so oppressed? And then these men of the Great Assembly came along and said, you know what? We can explain why God is still strong and awesome. We can still say Hakel Gadol, Hagibor v'Hanora. Hashem is great and strong and awesome as well. Why? Because why are we still alive? Why are the Jewish people still around? We shouldn't be around. We've been cast into exile, dispersed from our land, persecuted by the nations. Why are we still around after 70 years? It doesn't make sense, they were saying. The answer is because God is strong and awesome and is keeping us going. The exile had to be, but he still keeps us going as well. And for us now, 2,000 years into exile, we've been away from our temple for so long. Where's God's strength and awesomeness? Where are the miracles? And they're saying the miracles are our continued existence. And in the last 100 years, last 75 years, we've seen that even more than ever before. How the Jewish nation have come back to life through the state of Israel, through the rebirth of Israel, and through Yiddishkeit being reborn again. People returning to Torah, people coming back to their traditions. There's an amazing excitement in so many people to want to connect again to Hashem. Why? It's been 2,000 years since we had a holy temple. Jewish people are persecuted. They're oppressed. Why are we still around? That's God's strength and awesomeness. He keeps us going even through these difficulties because there's a plan to everything. And we will eventually return to the rebuilding of the temple as well. There'll be peace for all of mankind. Peace God speedily and in our days. I wish you all a good day.